Hello everybody! Thank you for joining me for Friday's math. I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate your hard work. On that note, let's get going. Okay guys, happy Friday. Let's get going with our data management today. So it's asking us to use the calendar to answer the questions. So this is our calendar, and little secret, calendars are one of my favorite things. Probably not a secret because I think I've said that to you so many times. I love when we do calendrier en français, and I miss doing that, but we're going to do it in English today and do some math with it. So calendars are actually a measurement tool, believe it or not. So this is September. I don't think this is this September. It could be any September. September changes every year. Okay, it depends what day it starts on. So for now, this is our September. It says how many Wednesdays are in the month of September. Again, this will change depending on the year. So don't say every September has this many Wednesdays. But to do that, we go along the top and we find Wednesday, and then we go and we count how many Wednesdays we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 Wednesdays in September. And it says, what day of the week is September 17th? So to find the day of the week, we find September 17th. And then we go up and we see that it is a Thursday because it lines up with this Thursday column. So September 17th is a Thursday. So we would write Thursday. And it says, name the date that is 5 days after September 23rd. So I go to September 23rd and I count up 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is September 28th. And I can shorten September, but I want to just add the 28th because otherwise I want to add it. Otherwise it's just the 28th. That's not what it's asking. It's asking what date. The date always has to have at least a day in a month. We don't know the year. If we had the year, we'd have to add it in. What date is the second Tuesday in September? So I go to Tuesday. I don't want the first, so I go up to Tuesday at the top and I follow down. I have not the first, but the second. So this is the first. This is the second. It is the 8th. It is the 8th. And you know what, guys? We really should write the number first. It's a bad habit I have of flipping them. That's the American way. The Canadian way, the number comes first. The 8th of September. Okay, technically, and they're doing it too, but technically when we do it the Canadian way, I like to get kids in the habit of doing the 8th, then day first, the month second, because when we do our math date, that would look like 8/9/year. I don't know what year it is. And when they're doing this, maybe 2020. Okay, what day of the week does the month end on? So I go to my month. I find the last day. It's the 30th. I go up. It ends on a Wednesday. 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 Okay, now Wendy had 24 trophies. She divided them into groups of 4. How many groups of trophies did she have? So I'm going to show you a way to do this using a picture, which is a good strategy. So she has 24 strategies. She has 24 trophies. She's going to divide them into groups of 4. So I'm going to make 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I could think what times 4 is 24. And if you remember from yesterday's or Wednesday's math, give your 4 times tables here. What times 4 is 24? So look, 4 times 6 is 24. So I could just go 6. But if you are like I was when I was in grade 3, I really struggled to make that connection. Maybe you want to see it drawn out. If you don't need to draw it out, don't draw it out. You just write 24. Divide by 4 equals 6. Done. 6 trophies. If you are like I was when I was in grade 3 and you like to see it modeled, I'm going to show you a strategy. This is a strategy you can use to divide any number. It would just take a really long time. So we're going to start with 24 and we're going to give 1 trophy to each box and we're going to count up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So how many trophies did she have? She divided them into groups of 4. Now, I did this wrong, like backwards, but I'm showing you it doesn't matter. She has 6 in each group. I misread the question, but that's okay because it's commutative property, so it's the same. So she would have 6 groups of trophies, okay? You could also have done, you could do it a little differently. This is a way that it made sense to me when I was a kid. So it's asking how many groups of trophies she has. Once you realize that it's commutative property, doesn't matter if you go 24 divide by 4, you'd have 6 groups, or 24 divide by 6 groups, you'd have 4 in each group. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, to find out all of the numbers. So you have 24 in total. If I divide it into 4 groups, I would have 6 in each group. And this used to confuse me because I was like, all right, well, what if I want to do it the other way? It's a fact family, guys. So you just go 24 divided into 6 groups, there'd be 4 in each group. This helps you figure it out if you want to draw it out. The commutative property will help you figure it out, okay? So you can either use your multiplication fact, you can say, all right, 6 times 4 is 24, so I know that 24 divided by 6 is going to be 4, or 24 divided by 4 is going to be 6. Knowing those fact families, and that's what we're going to start grade 3 and grade 4 with from my grade 2s. We're going to be starting with this right away because it's such an important skill to practice. Division is a big thing in grade 4, but in grade 3, we just need to kind of know how it works. So this is an idea of how it works, okay? And my grade 2s are superstars, and they're just going to pretend they're grade 3s for math. Okay, now when I look here, I'm looking here. I go, all right, this is subtraction. Mrs. Oakes is going to show me, is going to model 1, and I'm going to do the rest myself because I know how to do subtraction. And if I have to borrow, I know that I can do that. So I'm going to model step by step. If you don't need to see my model, don't worry about it. I'm modeling this one here, number 6. It's the 6th one you've done this week. I make one worksheet and I borrow lines from each. Okay, 2 subtract 6, I can't do it. So I start with my 1s column. I look, 2 subtract 6, I can't do it. So I need to borrow from my neighbor. I go over to the 10s column and I borrow a 10. I move this 10 over here. So now I have 12 1s. I'm going to subtract 6 from 12. I will get 6. And then I have right here, 7 subtract 3. So I go, okay, 7 subtract 3. I know my facts is 4. I have 7 10s subtract 3 10s is 4 10s. 12 1s subtract 6 1s is 6 1s, so it's 46. I'm going to do one more because I did notice a few people were still struggling with this. I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to let you do the rest. So I start with my 1s. Again, if you don't need this explanation, guys, just don't worry about it. Just go and do your math. So 6 subtract 8, I can't do it, so I need to borrow from a neighbor. So I go over here and I break up this. I take a 10. It was 5 10s, now it's 4 10s. I bring a 10 over here, so now I have 16 1s instead of 6 1s. 16 subtract 8 is 8. 4 subtract 4. 4 10s subtract 4 10s is 0 10s. I have 8. Since these numbers are so close together, you could have used the count up strategy if you needed to, but this is fine. Okay, you're going to do the next 3 by yourself because I know you can do it. Now I'm going to flip over to making connections. Making connections. It says, let's make connections between 2 times facts and 3 times facts, all right? So it says, explain how you could use the fact 2 times 9 to solve 3 times 9. So I know that you know your 2's facts because it's just a double. So let's write it out. 2 times 9, double 9 is 18. I can add one more group of 9. Okay, so I go 18 plus 9, one more group of 9, because it's all I did. It's either 2 groups of 9 or 3 groups of 9. Remember when we were drawing onto the arrays? One more group of 9, and that's going to be 27. So you add one more row to your array in your mind. Now it's saying to draw a diagram to show how you could use 2 times 8 to solve 3 times 8. So say you had 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 8 is just going to be one more group of 8. 3 times 8, so just go 16 plus 8. Okay, 16 plus 10 is 26, minus 2 is 24. When I add 8, I just like to think add 10 and 2 less. Okay, so there I have it. I can do it. Oh, it says to draw a diagram. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then to do 3 times 8, I would just add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more group of 8. One more group of 8. And that's my diagram. So 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 8 is 24. All right, now this diagram shows that. I want you to tell me what this diagram shows. What do you see? So what does it show you? When you see this diagram, what do you understand? You could write the equations. You could do it as a 3 times. I want you to tell me what you see. If you see nothing, tell me you see nothing. But I'd like you to try to figure out what equations or what understanding you could see from this. Same thing with this one. What does this diagram show? So we just did, I'm going to show you up here. This one is 2 times 8. This one is 1 times 8. And you add them together to get 3 times 8. So hopefully that's a little bit of a clue for you. I want you to try and figure out these two on your own, please. All right, and now it says draw a diagram to prove that 3 times 10 is the same as 2 times 10 plus one more group of 10. You guys can do that. Draw an array. Okay, so I'm going to start with 2 times 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, so I started with 2 times 10, and then I'm going to add one more group of 10. Okay, so this array now shows 3 times 10. That's what this array now shows. But this part of the array is 2 times 10, not times 2 times 0, 2 times 10, and this part of the array is 1 times 10. Okay, so it's just showing that you can break your arrays up. Now it's asking you to find the missing factors. So these are all for 3. 3 times what is 27? So you're going to figure it out. What you could write out your 3 times tables. We've practiced our 3 times tables. Maybe you want to write out 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 4 is 9, 3 times, sorry, I'm getting confused. 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is, uh-oh, I'm running out of ink. So that is a sign that you're going to do this on your own. Actually, I'm just going to switch my ink out real quick. And I'm going to do a couple for you. So I want you, if you're not sure on your 4's facts, or your 3's facts, I want you to write out those 3 times tables. Remember, one group of 3, keep adding 3's. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. Keep going till you have all your facts. Then you can use your facts to answer this, okay? So 3 times what is 27? 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times what is 18? You could go to your facts. Okay, 3 times 6 is 18. Sorry, my dog is up in this video a little bit. And then I go here, okay, 3 times what is 30? 3 times 10 is 30. You're putting the missing factor. So this times this equals the product. Okay, factor, factor, product. I'm just gonna go factor times factor equals product. So they're asked, these two are the factors. They're this point part of the equation, these two things down here, and the top one is the product. It's like the equal. I want you guys to try this, okay? Try and figure out the missing factors of this in here. And I did the first few for you. So 27, well, 3 times 9 is 27. 18, well, 6 times 3 is 18. 30, well, 3 times 10 is 30. And what you're gonna do if you're stuck, I want you to write out all your 3 times tables, because you should have been practicing this. This is something that we're supposed to be practicing in grade 3, but my grade 2s, I know you're practicing it too. Write out these multiplication tables for 3 times tables. So again, the pattern is add 3, 3 times 7 is 21, 3 times 8 is 24, 3 times 9 is 27, 3 times 10 is 30. You're gonna write them out for yourself. You're gonna use that list to figure out what the missing factor is, okay? It's like a fact family. So 6 times 3 is 18. If I look here, well, what times 3 is 6? I can go over to my list to find the answer. I hope that's helpful, but I want you to try this on your own, okay? On your own. Thanks, guys. You did it! Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And remember, I'm here if you need anything. If you have questions about your math, questions about your assignments, or you just want to check in and say, hi, Mrs. Oakes, I'd love to get a message from you. Have a fantastic day. I will see you on, trying to think of the date, Tuesday, next Tuesday for more math.